The Mayans, Part Two. Okay, who are the Mayans? Well, they're an early Mesoamerican civilization. In Part One, we covered the Mayans food, clothing, and shelter, which is humanity's three basic needs. Every cultural group addresses these needs in different ways. In Part Two, we'll discuss religion, government, and some fun facts. Religion. So the Mayan religion was polytheistic, which means that they believed in multiple gods, gods that connected with their daily lives sun gods, rain gods, harvest gods, gods for planets. And Maya's connection to the stars. The Maya used observatories to track the stars and planets and their movement. Mayan religious traditions often had connections to patterns in the changing night sky. This is a picture of an observatory that they built that would be at the top of a great stone temple where you would go in here and look at the stars and track their movement. Venus. One example will be the movement of Venus over time as it moved around the sun. Venus is obviously a planet and it's very distinct in the night sky, and the Mayans held it in high regard as it moved throughout the night sky. Government. The Mayans lived in city states. There were multiple great Mayan stone cities. Each of these cities would have their own high priests and local rulers. There was no high king or king of all the Mayans. Each city would have their own local rulers and high priests, though they were very similar. So, Mayan rulers and Mayan high priests. Here's your ruler, here's your high priest. They make decisions together. Uh, they decide things about warfare, how to collect taxes, hosting local religious ceremonies, and it would be their job to talk to the gods to consult them on their decision making. So Mayan courts. The Mayans had a court process. Evidence and witnesses would be called, and problems could be discussed, and judgments would be made. So it was a trial a trial to solve problems. Fun facts. The Mayan calendar. Everyone's excited about this one. Tracking time because of their connection to astrology. They developed their own way to measure time. They had their own system of days, months, and years. 2012, the end of the world. In Mayan timekeeping, a new millennium or switchover, such as the change from 1999 to 2000, was set to happen in 2012. Many people interpreted this as the end of the world, but many folks in the Mayan culture would have just known that this just happened to be where the end of their calendar ended. Had they been around at that point, they would have just started a new calendar to accommodate for that. The Mayan ball court. These are some of the oldest arenas ever to be discovered in the Americas. The goal is to get the ball through the stone hoop. This game is meant to honor their gods, and losers could sometimes be sacrificed, but not always. Sometimes it was just a game that would be played much like we play games today. But I want to take note on how high up that circle is in this large, expansive ball court. These are people right here for scale. This is a huge stone arena. Of course, I just mentioned it, human sacrifice. So the Mayans were deeply religious. They would build these great altars, such as this depiction right here, to perform these ceremonies. Sometimes it was in order to make the gods happy or to honor the gods. The Mayans would sacrifice animals, foods, or even people. It was all in practice to appease the gods or make them happy or make the gods do something for them. So that was the Mayans. I hope that that presentation gave you a better idea about Mayan culture.